Okay guys, whoa, it just got bright when I walked outside. Okay, so two cool things. One is that we're gonna 2J swap that truck. And it's not just like a basic swap, it's a bunch of nice stuff. BorgWarner EFR turbo, Pro EFI ECU, radium fuel stuff, Deechworks injectors. It's gonna be good. He already has a lot of the parts on the way. But there's not really a crazy deadline. It's a street car. He has a daily that's just a backup that came here from another state, so that's like his fun car. It had a supercharger on the stock motor and it kept having issues and then finally went out. So we're gonna make that truck really cool. Another thing is this E46 here. Pretty unassuming E46. Ooh, the RADGEN. Okay, so this is all stock right now, manual. Just basic E46, cool car, good starting platform. We're gonna do a swap in that. Can't tell you what it is yet. You guys can guess what it is. What kind of motor do you think we're gonna swap into that? Now you're gonna guess 2J, but think other stuff. That car is gonna go to SEMA this year if everything goes as planned, with Street Fighter LA. So you guys have seen their other car that we did stuff to and worked on with them. This E36 with the wide body. So they did the non-traditional swap here that's, you know, much different than the average swap that you'd see, and it stands out. So that's their style. So start guessing, what do you think that they're gonna do that's completely different, you guys haven't seen before in the E46. So today we're gonna pull these cars out of this area so we can use the lift space and get that motor and trans out of that car, and then we're gonna start putting the motor and trans in that's already here, but it's kind of hidden, you guys haven't seen it yet. We're gonna mate the trans together with the motor and see if it fits, because if it can't fit, then we need to tell the owner, like, hey, this is the modifications we're gonna need to do, and then, which might be cutting the trans tunnel or something like that, or firewall. But I think we're gonna convince him that the best way is rear mount radiator, which he already kind of knows that. He's got a rear radiator set up on this car. So if we can do that, then we'll do rear radiator, give us a lot of room to display this power plant that he's putting in there. So that's kind of the plan. It's gonna be exciting. All right guys, stay tuned. Joe's putting boots on right at lunchtime. I don't know what's different about the morning and the afternoon, but he needs boots for the afternoon. Hey man! It's all loaded up, gonna go to the dyno at FSR. So wish him luck. Do good, E36. He got the blessing. The E36 master. Oh yeah. Back over here. He started removing the whole front end of this guy, draining some fluids, getting stuff out, but we're not there yet. We got a couple hours left. Pull the hood off, and then probably drive shaft, transmission maybe, or maybe we'll just both at the same time. But yeah, we probably still have like 4 hours left, then that might be out of there. And then we got a new motor we're gonna put in there. Can't tell you guys yet. I was working on this, similar to that one other blue Supra we have. All the other guys are working on that E46 build. But I don't want to show you the motor because that's a surprise, so don't look at the motor. I was working on my car because we got that's a blown out bumper from Long Beach, but I was gluing these guys in here with like some special like epoxy that's for composites mostly, but it's just, we need not the bolt or the washer, I just need this screw, goes in the side of the fender. So that's almost ready for Renee to wrap, but that screw just kind of sits in here. We don't even put the other bolt in or the nut in there. We just kind of let it kind of find its place right there. Okay, so something I'm gonna have to do later tonight and tomorrow night when I have extra time is get this backup motor all ready and in the trailer to travel with us just in case we need it. I don't think we will, but we like to be prepared. I was modifying the stock oil pump to get a little more flow going and then more pressure. So for more flow, you can modify, like port these areas a little bit. There's like the little hole here and the hole here, but you gotta pull this guy out, and that's where your spring is. And then I add shims underneath the spring to get a little more spring tension so that it creates a little more oil pressure. So I'm gonna be doing this motor stuff, and then I also gotta try and line this taillight up better because I cracked the tabs on it, but now it's drooping down, not lining up good. I figure might as well line that up really good just in time to maybe graze the wall right here in this area in Washington. Yeah, okay, so yeah, whatever. So I'm not gonna replace that. So anyways, you guys know I like blue, right? Yeah. Got the blue. Some of you guys have seen this, but the blue Colt. It's my daily BMX, so I'm gonna head over to get a tire fixed on the truck right now, and then I'm gonna ride back. So always wear out the outer edge of the tire, like right here, but there's still tread back over there. It's really annoying. It'll do it to one or both of the front tires, and then I have to get a new alignment. Like way too much on the truck. It's just, I don't know, the solid axle setup doesn't like to stay aligned for very long. Anyway, so I got a slightly used Nexen tire back there that I had as an extra, or I had replaced all the tires, and that one was the best one. So I'm gonna throw that on the front, then ride back. But in the meantime, I was gonna tell you guys, if you're gonna be in Washington, we will have, most likely we'll have Boost Brigade hats. We won't have Boost Brigade shirts or sweatshirts. So don't forget to pre-order like we were telling you online. So if you guys could pre-order everything, you still have a couple weeks left to get that. So we're dropping the truck off to get that tire fixed. I just don't have a balancer at the shop, so that's why I was saying need to drop it off here, because I could mount at the shop, but I can't balance. Okay, so you guys know behind the shop the railroad tracks, and there's always I don't know if you've seen it, but there's always homeless people walking back and forth behind there. And I was always curious to go on the homeless highway, so I'm gonna take it today on the BMX. Maybe we'll get to see or meet a couple homeless people. There's so many in Santa Ana, and they're like very active. They're always doing something like all day. The homeless highway. It's beginning. This is crazy. See, it's like a village of people back here. Pretty bouncy. I think I have my tires set up for like street. I need to lower the air pressure a little bit. Oh, they're looking at me. They can tell I'm an outsider. What's up, guys? Hi. Thanks, man. What's up? It's a blue one. A blue one. Yeah. What's up, guys? Whoa. These people are super talkative. I guess it's just hard to ride and sit down on a BMX. Plus I'm like 30 something, so this is kind of hard. But anyways, those people are all excited that I'm passing by right now. Whoa. This is like an obstacle course, dude. This is not good for BMX bikes, let alone while being seated and riding and trying to talk. Ooh, Rad Industries. A new look on Rad Industries. It's got style even from the railroad tracks, huh? Whoa! From the other side. Is the grass greener on the other side of this fence? Doesn't look that cool actually, but neither does a railroad track, so yep. Okay guys, we're done. Let's go back and work on the Supra's motor. Supras! More Supras! Okay, so today we're cutting off the front of the car and the back of the car. Getting set up right now. Got some stuff on so it doesn't hurt too much, but with all the sparks. Sad to cut this up because it's such a clean car, but it's what he wants to do. And it's part of what happens when you build a race car. It's ends up really cool, but you sacrifice parts of it. Okay, let's make this happen. Okay, so cut lots of stuff so far. We have about 50% of this one left and about 5% of that one left. Then this will fall off and then we'll move to the back. So I'll continue on this real quick. So we brought in the smaller person. She's gonna hold the camera while I do the last cut. Okay, we did it, guys.
Supra's been shot.
Yeah, the front. Maybe Connor will fall. Keep going. Okay, he got it. Alright, so the cuts aren't 100% perfect, but I went like a little bit further out forward than I would want it, so then I can go clean it up in a second. Now to the back. Okay, so one cool thing about this, if you know how to use a cutoff wheel really well, or you have the privilege of many hours with a cutoff wheel, it starts out, you know, this big. Cut the whole front of the Supra off, and I barely eased up like a little bit of it. But on the back one, we are going to go with a 6-inch cutoff wheel, so we can get a little deeper. It's a little more dangerous for like me to be holding it, but we got to get deeper in there. So I'll cut some of the thin stuff, I think, at the beginning. Well, first I got to unload all this crap out of here, but I got to cut along this seam down here. And so that seam and a couple other ones I'm going to do with the wheel that's on there, and then I'm going to go to this guy to get through the rear frame rails because they're huge. Okay, so never did this before, but I'm going to try and cut this piece out and the back piece all as one piece and just take it all out. And then I'll try not to cut that thing right there. I think that's a Joe. Yeah, it's probably a Joe.
Just cut in the knee.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna cut on this line here and that line, then down here, over here along that line. Actually, I think on my car I cut along this line, this seam, like the step right here. I'll see if I can cut on the other side though, just make it look cleaner. But that support beam that runs underneath is underneath there, so no, I'm still gonna cut where I cut on my car, which is right here. just be more structurally sound if you do hit something back there. Then I'm gonna cut along. Well, I'm gonna cut here, and then this is where the back of the car gets cut off, but you kind of go in and cut more and trim back on here, so that's just that part. So probably cut down and go along that for now, but then trim more once the back of the car is out. And on this side, kind of cut through, if you say, that area. See how they're unsymmetrical side to side? Kind of trying to just make it go straight across to that, but we'll see what we do. And then on the outside here, cut to here, but then cut inside the fender well and not actually have to cut all the way out there. You just kind of connect it, and then this will come with it because you've cut the inside off. That's the theory that I'm going to try and go with. We'll see what happens. Let's go. Okay, so the back's pretty hard. I've been at it for a while. Got that center part cut and the edges cut, but now I'm going to cut the rear quarters, but not all the way off, and then I'm going to cut up inside the wheel well, and then we're going to see if we can get this off in one piece. Alright, I'll keep going. Everything in life is scary, including using a cutoff wheel. Sorry! I'll make a mold of you. Stop crying.
That looks easy.
That was hot. It would have been easy if we just did like in sections, but I wanted to do it the hard way. It's like a whole back of the Supra there. Okay.
Good job.
We gotta go do something else now. Okay, so at the beginning we were doing really good with cutoff wheels, and then that didn't last. So we used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, these didn't really use that much. 5 cutoff wheels, and then we got partially into 3 of them. But the back is really hard because it's like 3 layer here, and sometimes the angle grinder won't get in the space. So I know you guys are gonna tell me I should use a Sawzall. I don't know, for some reason I just don't like using Sawzalls. Maybe it's the metal on metal sound or something, I don't know, I just never use it. That looks familiar. So we did it. Trimmed more after that. So we gotta clean up so you could touch this area and it won't cut you to the bone. Clean up this area, but in reality we're gonna cut the frame further, but I left extra inch or 2 because usually it goes sideways somehow or another because it's like too deep for any of the blades. So our plan is to trim it back to the edge of this ridge here and then weld the plates on there, and then maybe even trim this like at an angle up to that so we have a little less material there, and this one trim at an angle up to there, this one on that ridge, and then smooth everything out. But that is that. These guys are visiting all the way from Chicago. Okay, what's your name? Kelsey.
Jack.
All right, so they came all the way from Chicago, not just to come here, right?
We were in San Diego.
I should have said yes, just to come here.
Well, of course.
Well, thanks for coming. Stopping by. So you're visiting family in San Diego? They're checking out the Supra, even though the front of it's not on it. But thanks for coming, guys.
Yeah, of course.
Wait,
Thank
the
you.
lighting's kind of bad. Okay, let's make sure. Okay. Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank you.
Ooh, got this all fitted up. Just gotta put some springs on there. And these guys, Canard, then Renee's gotta put the vinyl and the decals. We'll help her with decals, but the vinyl part she's gotta do. So, let's see what happened with this car since you last saw it. These are both done. And I cut the back off yesterday. Joe's been working on the base plates so we can do fuel cell, cage. We'll have more updates.